Hey fabric fanatics, ever heard of the bias? It's like the secret sauce for fabric, giving it stretch and drape. Today, we're diving into the ultimate guide to measuring and cutting fabric on the bias. First things first, what is the bias? Imagine your fabric has threads running up and down the grain and side to side the cross grain. The bias is that magical 45-degree angle in between. This is where the fabric gets its give. Why is the bias so awesome? Because it drapes beautifully, making it perfect for things like flowing skirts, bias cut dresses, and anything that needs a little extra oomph. It also stretches, which can be super helpful when you want a fabric to hug your curves. Okay, let's get measuring. You'll need a few essentials: your fabric, a ruler or measuring tape, a rotary cutter or scissors, and a cutting mat to protect your table. Find the straight grain before you even think about the bias. Make sure your fabric is nice and straight. Fold the fabric selvage to selvage the finished edges. If the edges line up perfectly, you're good to go. If not, give it a little snip and a gentle tug to get it straightened. Now, locate the bias. Here's the fun part. Find a corner of your fabric. Fold it diagonally so that the selvage edge meets the cut edge, forming a perfect 45-degree angle. That diagonal line is your bias. You've officially found it. Cutting on the bias can be done in a few ways. Let's start with the most common, the continuous bias. Fold your fabric diagonally as described earlier. Now, decide how wide you want your bias strips to be. For example, let's say you want 2-inch strips. Measure 2 inches from the folded edge, using your ruler and marking with a fabric pen or tailor's chalk. Repeat this measurement all along the folded edge. Time to cut. If you're using a rotary cutter, line up your ruler with the marked lines and carefully slice through the fabric. If you're using scissors, take your time and follow the lines carefully. Once you've cut along the marked lines, you'll have a series of bias strips. These are perfect for binding edges, creating spaghetti straps, and so much more. Another cutting method is single-layer bias cutting. This is where you lay your fabric flat. Find the 45-degree angle, the bias, and measure and cut your desired width. This is useful for when you need a large piece of bias fabric. Important tips: always use sharp scissors or a fresh rotary blade. This will give you the cleanest cuts. Pin your fabric to the cutting mat to keep it from shifting. This is especially important for slippery fabrics. Press your bias strips after cutting. This sets the fibers and helps with sewing. Troubleshooting: sometimes the bias can be a little stretchy and wobbly. Don't worry if you're having trouble cutting straight lines. Try using a fabric stabilizer or starch to give the fabric some extra structure. Also, make sure you're working on a flat, stable surface. And there you have it, the ultimate guide to measuring and cutting fabric on the bias. Now go forth and conquer those curves. Happy sewing!